In this video, I want to explain component migration process for Ontrack. This video aims to help you understand the migration process and make your component migration process a little bit easier. Firstly, Ontrack is using two frameworks, Angular and AngularJS. Angular is the newer one and AngularJS is the older one. We want to move all the AngularJS components into Angular components. To fully utilize this video, it would be beneficial for you if you already know some basic front-end development. You don't need to know Angular necessarily. React or Vue or other front-end framework, knowledge about those frameworks will be helpful. Essentially, you need to know what a parent component is and what a child component is, and how you can use a component inside another component, and the tree structure of the project. You need to know a little bit about that. Here are the two possible blockers you can encounter. Number one, I want to use my new Angular component in an existing AngularJS component. And number two, I want to use an existing AngularJS component inside my new Angular component. All right. Now, spoiler alert, the solution is already in the slides. For the first case, you want to downgrade your component. And for the second case, you would like to upgrade the existing component. Now, luckily, the system for upgrading and downgrading is already set up for you. You just need to copy paste some lines of code that I'll show you in a bit. Now, let's have a look at this component that I migrated. So, here is the old one, and here is the new one. It is essentially doing the same thing. There's just few extra fields here, and this one is Bootstrap for the styling purposes, and this one is Material UI. Here, in this case, I am using an Angular component inside an AngularJS component. So the unit list here is an AngularJS component. And to make sure my Angular component works inside this AngularJS component, I had to downgrade my component. And I'll show you how it's done inside the code. So inside doubtfire angularjs.modules.ts file. So doubtfire angularjs.modules.ts, what you would like to do is import your component, then you need to write a line similar to this. So this uses a downgrade injectable. You put your component name here and here, and afterwards you need to write another few lines. Let me find the one that is corresponding to this one. Yeah, so this one is doing the actual downgrading of the component. So you need to do two steps: downgrade injectable and downgrade component. After this, you can use this component as an AngularJS component. So what I did here is inside the units AngularJS component, I just imported the new component, and it worked very simple, like pretty much units component thinks that this component is an AngularJS component. So that's essentially what's happening. Now, the second case. So this one is pretty simple, right? It's just a few lines of code. Now for the second case, here you want to use an existing AngularJS component inside your Angular component that you just created. For this case, what I did is after a unit is created successfully, I want to show like a notification or success message or that the unit has been created, or an error message if an error has occurred. So that already exist in this project. So what they've done here is, if we go to this AJS upgraded providers.ts, the service that we're using for that is the alert service. here what they're doing is they're creating this injection token, and then they're creating a provider for it. So two steps: creating an injection token and creating a provider. And what it does is this allows us to import the alert service, which is AngularJS, and then we can import it using this inject inside our Angular component, which is this is TypeScript here, and then we can use that and show whatever message that you want to show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So what you need to do again is for downgrading, use doubtfire angularjs.module.ts file, and for upgrading it's AJS upgraded providers.ts file. That's pretty much it. Just see what how the other components are done and do the same thing for your own components. And that is the end. All right, good luck.